morning. Welcome to Saturday in the Studio. My name is Lisa Schmid. Thank you for being patient with us. Yeah, if you know anything about Dave, when there is technical difficulties, it takes like 3 years off his life. Like the stress on that is just ridiculous. Doesn't matter if it's this, if it's something at work, the stress is equal to him, it feels like to me. So he figured out a new way. So strange, the platform we usually use said high traffic this morning. Like what? It's 9 a.m. on a Saturday. It's low traffic time. Anyway, we are glad to be with you today. And let's see, I was saying before I realized you weren't listening or weren't there, was I woke up today and thought, oh, it's Sunday, but it's Saturday, which is my favorite day of the week and one of my favorites. And that's because yesterday we got to do things around the house and it felt like a Saturday. And we got to play pickleball 2 times, which that's awesome. It was really fun. Today I'm going to show you a stamp set that Stampin' Up! Came out with that they have a couple stamp sets in the catalog that has both the option of dies and punches, which I have never seen that before. I opted for punches. I opted for a punch because I just love how quick and easy punches are. So let's get started. You've already been waiting for us, so let's get started. All right, I'm going to,
Keep going.
Okay, I'm going to show you, it's called Labeled with Love, and it is on page 58 in the catalog. And so here you can see the dies, 3 die. I'm guessing it's 1 die that punches out 3 times. That's what I'm guessing. And then, or the punch. So this is one of them, Labeled with Love, with all these different words and pictures, and I'll show you those a little bit closer. And then the other one is Keeping Tabs, also with lots of different words, but that would be a fun one for, to do, menu, notes, my list. I love that. I like making lists. Anyone else there, a list maker? All right, so that's where that is. It's right here, Labeled with Love. And
Morning, Sandy. Thanks for letting us know you can hear us.
so the gift is super fun. And then to from, of course, happy birthday. We've got this fun little butterfly. These are 2-step stamps here to give a little background and detail. And same here with the flowers. You are loved. I hope you guys know that. You are loved. We love you. Enjoy today, just for you. And thanks, friend. And that is the shape of the punch. So I am not using the punch today on this card, but I do like the shape of it and pretty handy punch. Okay, so today we're going to make a card that I've told you this before. I go into a box and I have some cards that I love in my box. And this is one of them, and I love it because it had a red little bug, which is what I drive. This is a while ago. But then I keep them because sometimes I just get stuck, like I don't know what to do. And so I use the layout. So that's what I'm doing this morning. So I'm starting with a piece of, Summer Splash. And this is, I'm going to say, I want to always measure before I actually say it out loud, 7.5 by 5.5. 7.5 by 5.5. And then I just score it at our normal 4 1/4. And this I'm going to cover with white paper, so I'm not going to worry about that little stain right there. That is okay. All right, the other day I put this in the dishwasher, and it really didn't come out any cleaner. I was kind of surprised that the adhesive didn't come off in the dishwasher, but I thought I'd give it a try. Just a little side note on that. All right, and I'm going to use the Designer Series paper, also in Summer Splash. And I chose to use this one right here with the stripes. And this one, since this is 3 inches, my little piece of paper is 2 and, got to measure first. This is 3 1/4, which is what's left over after you measure that 4 1/4. And so this little paper is 3 inches, 3 by 5 1/4. All right, let's go ahead and stick that on.
Morning, Deb. Morning, Trudy.
Deb is on her way here. And Deb,
Well,
this is
not quite yet.
not quite yet. Well, soon. This is one of the cards you can make at Card Cafe this morning. I like to do that just to show you. There's just some really fun cards that we make. All right, and I'm going to go ahead and I chose a coordinating paper to put here. This is just 1 inch, and I just let it flop over a little bit there, and that's just fine. So, and
Morning,
this,
Tina. Morning, Cheryl.
I would have used the Designer Series paper, but I ran out of that because I made all the cards for Card Cafe, and then I thought, what else do we have in Summer Splash? And this is from Unbounded Beauty, and that works just fine. So I'm going to leave my border again, put that there. And then I just have a white piece of paper. I debated because you could use a regular white piece of paper, cardstock all the way across, because that is quick and easy. If you didn't want to recut or remeasure, this one I actually went 3 inches, is what, 2 3/4. 2 3/4. This one's a little bit smaller. So 2 3/4 by 5 1/4. And I'm just going to pop that in the middle right there.
And folks, for those of you just joining, we did have some technical difficulties, so we had to go a different route than usual. And I'm getting a few notices that possibly your video is a little bit lower quality. So I apologize for that, but we're kind of running on duct tape and rubber bands today.
Okay, I did forget one thing. I don't want to stick this down yet because I'm going to stick in my little tab. So I just peel that up, like always, peel it up. I did not score this piece. It's 1 inch, and I just measured 4 1/4. 4 1/4 doesn't really matter. This one is 4 1/4, and I didn't score it. You can, but you don't really need to. So I'm going to put this right in here, just kind of under there. Make sure that's going to stay, and then you're just going to fold it over. So just like that. So I feel like I have a little bit more flexibility if I don't score it. I'm all about flexibility. Just ask Dave.
Oh, good. Sandy says it looks okay.
Good. All right. So let's go ahead and stamp with our fun new stamp set. New to me, anyway. Let me get my mat here. And if you don't remember, Summer Splash is one of our new in colors. So we've got Peach Pie, Shy Shamrock, Petunia Pop, Pretty in Pink, and Summer Splash. And a friend of mine was saying, well, I really love them. I don't know which to go with. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to put them in the order that are my favorite. Petunia Pop is my number 1. Then, actually I should do it this way, number 1. Then Summer Splash. Then Peach Pie. Then Pretty in Pink. And I still like it, but I use it the least, is Shy Shamrock. So if you were only going to get 3, I would get these 3, in my opinion.
Well, let's be honest, just order them all.
That's true too. And then Basic Beige is a new color also. Well, sometimes it's just good to know what my faves are. All right, we're going to go ahead and stamp on, I'm going to give myself a little bit bigger piece of paper. How about that? I'm going to use so I pulled out the little package, which is just really, really sweet. And I'm going to go ahead and stamp on. First, I'm going to punch. Actually, I need to know what my size is before I go ahead and stamp it. So I'm going to go ahead and punch a circle. And this is using our largest die, the 2 3/8, which I love punches, like I said. Okay, and I'm going to grab my Summer Splash and go ahead and I'm going to stamp 3 packages. So I'm going to stamp 1 with the bow up. Am I in the middle? Am I good? There we go. I'm going to go a little higher. With 1 package here. And I'm not going to restamp and stamp 1 package here. So it's a little bit lighter. Then I'm going to stamp off and stamp a little bit lighter package here. So I've got my 3. And then I'm going to stamp that little background of confetti right on top of it. It's a little bit hard to see. So when that happens, you know what really you need to do? I'm going to go ahead and do it right now because it will make sense. It needs to be on a little bit bigger block. It fits really well on the little block, but I can't see the edges. And so if I can't see the edges, I don't know where. Now here I can see the edges so I can have a better idea of where to stamp. All right, and that I'm just going to go straight on without stamping off. Now, okay, that's pretty cute, right? That's pretty cute, but I want to go ahead and do one more thing, and because it's such a simple shape of a square.
Bring it over to, move it just a little bit. Look at the camera. Slide there we go. Thank you.
I'm like, which camera am I looking at? There's several up here. I'm going to go ahead and just stamp this one time and grab some scissors and just go ahead and cut out the square, not the bow, just the square. So it's a very easy cut, hardly what I would call a fussy cut, just a cut. Doesn't even matter if it's straight because it's going to sit right on top of that other one, and the other one's underneath it. So if it's not perfectly straight, doesn't matter. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and pop this one up right just with one little dimensional, one big dimensional. Pop that up. I just said to Dave, see how I just dropped that on the floor? I need to bring a vacuum down. My floor looks like it has snow all over it. I'm just going to pop this one up, and then that makes it look like that one's in the front. Gives it a little dimension as well. The next thing I'm going to do is go ahead and stamp the happy birthday, which is what originally this bigger block was for. So I'm going to stamp my little happy birthday underneath it.
Cheryl mentioned that there's the pack with the new colors, and that's true. If you wanted just a few, like if there's some you're like, I won't use those as much, you got the assorted pack. That would be a way to get some of everything, and then order more of the ones you really like.
Okay, I took off that piece because I was afraid I was going to nick this with the ink, and so I'm just putting that back on. In retrospect, I will stamp the happy birthday first, and then the packages. So, Deb, remember that when you come to Card Cafe. All right. So then I took my little circle here and I put it here, and I was like, well, that's cute, but it just needs a little more. And so I took my Nested Essential or Stylish Shapes dies, and that is these, the Stylish Shapes, and took a circle and made it just a little bit, give it a little bit of a background there. So let's go ahead and adhere that on. And to our Lemon Lolly. Love this color. It's so pretty. It's a nice soft color.
You just like saying it.
I do like saying it, but I do really like the color also. And the other thing about putting a little background is then when you open it, you have a nice, oh, I made a mistake again. Rissafras. Here's what I want to do.
Oh my goodness.
Well, you could do it that way, but anyway, bear with me. I'm going to stick this on, and then I'm going to put this on, because then you've got a clean back when you open it.
Exactly.
Doesn't matter. You could do it either way, but I'm going to do it this way because I'm committed now. And don't think of that as committed as any other way, but committed to doing this. All right. There we go. The last thing I'm going to do is I really wanted a ribbon. And I was like, well, we don't have Lemon Lolly ribbon. Not that I'm aware of anyway. And so I thought, well, how can I get Lemon Lolly ribbon? And so I took some white ribbon. Did you know you could do this? And you take Lemon Lolly and you just hold it and run it through. Here's how I do it. You either get a glove or you hold a piece of paper there, because I don't want it all over my fingers, and then do the other side. And I did it yesterday, so if you do it immediately before, sometimes it's a little damp and that ink can come off on you. So I like to do it, I did it a day before for Card Cafe. Okay, see how that's popping up? Well, we can get that to stay down completely by just giving that a little more of a burnish. Put a little bit more adhesive here. There we go. And I'm going to put a little Lemon Lolly knot right here. I mean, how cute. You have to have that color, right? And I was like, well, I don't really want some dots. I've got a lot of dots on here. And I did cut a very itty bitty piece. Probably needed a little bigger piece. But I'm going to do it. Got it. I got it. And I didn't get any yellow on my fingers because, like I said, I did it a little bit earlier. All right, so we'll just trim those. And trim this one this way. That. And then inside, we can stamp Enjoy Today, which is another stamp in the stamp set. I'm like, I know I have another stamp. I'm trying to figure out what it was. Enjoy Today. Enjoy Today. There we go. Isn't that a cute card? I think it's very darling. Did you want to show us something? Because I have something else I want to show them.
Today we are
No,
not going
okay.
to, because I
I
don't
forgot.
want to stress the system any more than it already is.
The
So,
system or you?
no,
or
no,
both?
the system. So
Okay.
it's just
So I showed you this card where it came from. I wanted to show you two things. One, I was playing around. I didn't make a card, but I was playing around with what could you do with this background. So if you wanted, you could make a whole package background. And oh, I forgot one thing on the inside. There's this little stamp, this one right here, this little itty bitty stamp. And that, we're going to put just one of those on the inside. You don't want to stress the system. I know what you mean, but I think it's our stress, Dave. I'm going to stick this right here and just put a little package right there. Packages right there. Isn't that sweet? I think it's really cute.
Deb likes that your jacket matches the design of the card.
That's very funny. I do love this
It is
color.
her favorite color, so you know.
Yep, lime green and teal together. Okay, so I want to show you, we could have done I just want to show you a couple of these other stamps in here. And I'm going to punch out a circle there. Let's go ahead and do a different piece of paper. One more, little one, big one. And just show you a couple other things we could have done here using the same paper. I'm looking for my mat. Oh, here it is. Using that same paper, we could have done butterflies in, I think the butterflies would look pretty in Petunia Pop.
Getting lots of love for the design.
Thank you. And Lemon Lolly. I thought that would be a really pretty, pretty two stamps to put together. So this one, butterfly, I need some blocks that are clean and empty. I'm just going to clean these off. Otherwise it gets all over my fingers. All right, pop that in there. I'm going to clean this one off too. I'm not going to show you the words so much, just the design of the butterfly. So here is one. That's our detail, and then this is our background. So I like to do, let me just think for a second. I like to do the detail first, which is not how I think of it, and that's why I have to stop and think. The detail I think of as on top, right? I think of the background and then the detail. But if you stamp the detail first, for me, I find it a lot easier to line up the second one.
Yep.
So I'm just going to do the same thing here. You could put some cute little words on the bottom. I'm going to do it off like that. Just a little second one there. And grab my Lemon Lolly as my background. Lemon Lolly. You're right, I do like to say that. So because of the pulling the ribbon through, you can see the stripes there. That is what I did, pulling them all through. Okay, but see how I can line that up so clearly? And if I did it the other way, it's just a little bit harder to see.
The background's not as strong, so it's...
Exactly. And we'll do that. I guess that one kind of needs a little bit more. The Lemon Lolly did not show up, so there we go. And then you could put a little thanks or something on the bottom, but just, if I was doing this, I would use the Petunia Pop paper, but the butterflies are really sweet. The next one I want to show you, the last one I want to show you, is these leaves and flowers. I need a bigger block, love.
Okay.
Thank you.
Card Cafe Day.
Actually, I'll just use this one. It's not a Stampin' Up! One, and I don't like it so much, but I'm good. I'm good, sweetheart. I'll just use this one. All right, I'm going to stamp this time in Shy Shamrock. I have to tell you, I love Petunia Pop so much that I had to order 2 of them for Card Cafe. All right, this one I thought would be fun. You could just do a single. There's our leaves, and then we've got some really pretty flowers to put on top of it. You know, looking at a stamp in the package and stamping it are just 2 totally different things. So let's see if we can, there we go. I see that this actually does line up. I'm just looking at this little stem, the 2 stems on the bottom, and figure if they line up, I can probably get the rest of it to line up. That's sweet. That's a sweet little card. I like that. I see now that, yeah, even if you don't line them up perfectly, it still looks really good. And again, you could do a little background, I suppose, behind it. So, yeah. So those are, let me just move this. These are a couple things with the same stamp set. I'm going to close my ink pad so I don't stick my jacket in them. Got this jacket in Florida one year. It was very fun. So there are some fun things to do, and this is just a really fun fold. And it's not a difficult fold, it's just a fun fold. So that is what I want to show you using the Labeled with Love. I'm just looking to see if there's, I kind of covered the big ones, but I do also love, oh, I did want to do one more thing, I'm sorry. Just to show you, I kind of did show you, but just the punch, I could stamp that You Are Loved, and it's just a beautiful size right there. That would fit just so nicely right there. You are loved. So that's what I have for you, friends. Some of you, I look forward to seeing you in a few minutes or at 10 o'clock. And others, I will see you on Monday. But whatever you do today, make sure you enjoy it. And stamp if you want to. And post your pictures. We'd love to see them. So happy stamping, friends. See you on Monday.